morning, family. So good to have you here with me this morning. Excited for this show. We got some great things coming up. And once again, I would love to know where you're watching from. If you could just take a minute, whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook or any of the social medias that we're right now live broadcasting on, that would be awesome. Let me know that you're here. Let me know where you're from. Tina's here this morning. Good to see you, Tina. And folks, let me know where you're from. It's always interesting to see where people are watching from. And this says good evening from the Philippines. Gerald is here with us. And of course, it's a little different time frame over there, evening time in the Philippines. That ought to be a song. So Mike is here. Good to see you, Mike. And he says, awesome, Pastor Bob Beeman. See, now, does he mean the show is awesome or that I'm awesome? I know. AV, our good friend, is here. Good morning to you from Colorado, is it, or California? AV, you'll have to remind me. I don't remember. So, folks, again, if you're here, please sign in. David Kelly from Littleton. 43 degrees there. It's hot here. I wish we had that weather. And yeah, it is a great area. I love Colorado. Littleton is one of my favorite places. Becky Porter says, good morning, PB. You know, PB stands for Pastor Bob. You might have thought it stands for peanut butter. I know. Both would be okay. Erica's here. Good morning to you, Erica. Folks, if you're joining us, sign in and let us know where you're from. So great show today. Peter Stenlund is here from Sweden. He'll be joining us in just a minute. We have XDOLUOSx here with us. Match is going to interview the guys from XDOLUOSx, and great interview. I'm excited for you to see what they're up to, and great band if you're not aware of them. And as always, many surprises. So this happened. My new book is out, and it's actually the devotional edition to Seriously, Letters to Myself at 21. And folks, I highly recommend the book. If you got the one on the right, Seriously, my original book that was published in 2015, this is updated. It's got some things to think about. It's got some scripture to look at. It can be your daily devotional. So make sure you check that out. You'll find it on the Sanctuary website, and we'll put that on the screen as well. It's kind of a little bit of a follow-up to my Metal Devo book. People say, when are you going to write the next one? Because they're done with that one, 365 days. So this will be your next one. And I'm excited. And other books that we're about to publish that I'm very happy to tell you about. And on your screen, you can see where you can go to get all of this stuff, all of the swag, t-shirts, posters, mugs, lots of cool stuff. SanctuaryInternational.com or WeAreMetal.WeAreFamily.com. Both of them will get you there. Of course, bringing Headbangers Brew into the mix as well. Drinking a little bit of Headbangers Brew this morning. I've got my Jamaican Me Looney blend that I'm drinking today. It is one of my favorites. And if you haven't tried Jamaican Me Looney, people are going loony all over the United States with this. I know. It's so good, it makes you loony. Just saying. Folks, if you're just joining us, would you sign in? Let me know where you're from. Let me know where you're watching from. It would be very cool. So we have, as I said, a great show planned today. And I have a very special friend that's going to join me as my co-host and guest today. He's going to do both. And his name is Peter Stenlund from Sweden. There he is with his guitar. And let's bring him on with his guitars behind him. You can see that guitar and a few more. Peter, good morning. How are you? Good to see you, dude. So you have the coolest wall there, and all the guitar players are drooling.
Yeah, but you had all the mugs, so
I have all the mugs.
I had to bring something to the table.
You're much cooler, dude. You're much cooler. Yes. Narsima is here from Asia, and we have again people joining from us from all over the world. Peter, hopefully we'll get you from Sweden as well. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See
So
if they're
Peter,
awake.
yes, you and I have been good friends for a long time, like 25 years now.
Yeah, we got to know each other. Well, in 1999 was the first time we met.
Yes.
At
Yeah.
Bogfest.
So that's 25 years. Yeah. Long time ago. Jonas. Oh, Jonas is here from Kenya, our good friend. One of the guys working on the Sanctuary Worship album in Kenya. And sounding really good, Peter. It's a very exciting album that they wrote it very quickly because the words and the especially the music just came fast. It's kind of cool when God writes, you know.
Yeah, it's much faster.
Yeah, it is. Well, Peter, we go back a lot of years. We used to do a festival in PTO, in the place that you're originally from. Now, I want to talk about PTO for a minute because I want people to understand how far north it is.
Yeah.
PTO is that place where the sun basically doesn't come up in the winter and it doesn't go down in the summer.
Right.
And Peter, you don't think about that because you grow up with it. But when you start traveling around the world, you realize that that's not what most people experience.
Yeah, exactly. I've noticed. It's a special thing.
Yes. So I remember one night, and Peter, you used to have a bedroom in your house that had my name on it.
Yes.
That's how often I was there, often. And and loved being there. I remember one night I was teaching a Bible study, I think at Jonas's house.
Yeah.
And I was teaching and finally somebody said, "Wow, we really need to go home." And I thought, "Oh, well, it's kind of early, isn't it?" It was 1 o'clock in the morning and the sun hadn't gone down, and it didn't occur to me that it would possibly be that late. So let me say to all of you who listen to me, you're just lucky I don't live in that time zone. I would never shut up.
I remember because when you left to do that, you said, "I'll be back in a short while. This won't take long." And then you showed up like 1:30 at night. I'm so sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Peter, I want to talk about your history. You had a band called LAUDAMUS that a lot of people are familiar with. Yeah. And our producer, John, is a big fan of LAUDAMUS. You did a few albums, and one in particular I'd like you to talk about just for a minute. You had some great people on the album, and Ken Tamplin produced the album. Talk about that for a minute.
Yeah, we decided to make an album, and we wanted we wanted specifically to have a producer from the United States, just because we thought that would be a great thing to bring some other influences in and stuff like that. And we had several names, and Ken Tamplin was one of the names, and he had a forum on the internet. And there I found his email address. So I wrote him an email and thought that he wouldn't even read it. But he came back to me in just an hour or so, and how can I help you? And he was really, really positive to the whole thing. And so eventually we flew over to California to record at his studio. And I mean, he's just fantastic. I have so much good things to say about him. I can talk all day. Yes. But one thing that he did was that one of the after one session we had, he said that, "What do you guys think about having some guest musicians just to create some more interest?" And he said, "I have a friend who might be up for it." And he said, "You know who Marty Friedman is?" Yeah. Know who Marty Friedman is? I can ask him if you want to. Yeah, you can ask him. Yeah, sure, do that. I guess he would be very excited to play with a band from PTO, and just, you know. So I didn't think more about it, and then I came back to the studio the next morning. He said, "Marty is on," and that was kind of a shock to me. And then we had a lot of other guests as well, and he had all the connections, and he's fantastic. Ken Tamplin has helped me so much on a personal level. Both as I learned so much about producing during that session we had, and he's just a great friend and a great person.
Yeah, and he did a phenomenal job on that album, didn't he?
Yeah,
yeah,
he did, and he spent so much. He did so many things that he didn't have to do. You know, he took time to sit down and talk to us about his own experiences in ministry and, you know, musical stuff and all kinds of stuff. It just blew me away completely. He didn't have to do all that stuff, but he did.
Yes. Yeah. Fantastic guy. We used to do a monthly group called Metal Missionaries. He and I hosted it together. And for all of the bands in California during the 80s and early 90s.
Yeah.
And he's a man of wisdom, and he definitely has a lot of talent.
Yeah, yeah, a little too much.
Yeah, no. How did he get so much of it? Yeah,
that was the frustrating part, being in the studio with him, because everything that I can play and everything that I can sing, he can do it better immediately.
Yeah.
You know, he's just,
yeah, he's an amazing guy. Well, LAUDAMUS, and of course, you've done a lot of ministry since then, and you know, you're very close friends with Rex Carroll from Whitecross. You guys have done some music camps, some things musically. Talk about you and kind of what you do and what you brought Rex Carroll in to do as well.
Yeah, it started back in 2011 because I saw an advertise on Facebook that Whitecross was coming to Norway to play a festival there. And it was Whitecross, and it was another Swedish band as well in the same kind of genre. And I felt sorry for Whitecross, like traveling all that way from, you know, I know how it is to fly over the Atlantic Ocean, and they play one show in Norway and they go back. That's kind of a boring thing. So I wrote a message to Rex and just asked him, we never met, if they wanted to do something in Sweden while they were so close. And he said yes. I also wrote to the other band, but they never got back to me, because my plan was to put together a festival. But instead, it became 5 shows in northern Sweden that we did with my band LAUDAMUS and Whitecross. And that was in the fall of 2011. And in 2012, I invited Rex over because we connected immediately. I invited him over to be part of this music camp called Music Shuttle that we do in the summer. And we've done it. This year is the 13th time we're doing it.
Wow.
So he has been the instructor for, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 years or so. So he's been over, and I've been at he did something called REX CARROLL Rock Academy, which was kind of a weekend for guitar players, and we're also bass players and drummers. And we did some teaching, and we've done concerts and some tours together, and it's just been great. And he's fantastic in so many ways.
Yes. Yeah, he really is. He's just a great human being.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
totally
then
agree.
he's, as a guitar player, I think he is way underrated. I mean, I've been on stage with him so many times. And people think about him as like a shredder guy that travels the world and just being a guitar hero. He's so musical. I mean, he can play.
Yes.
He can play stuff that I remember one time he played a hymn in the church when we lived up north, just instrumental. It was my wife playing piano, and he started playing just the melody and guitar, and the whole congregation stood up.
Wow.
The very second he started playing, they all stood up, and they didn't know why.
Whoa.
I mean, it's amazing what he can do. And we have done several concerts where I feel that it doesn't go as easy as I was hoping for. And then he has his guitar solo in the middle of the concert, and I come back on stage, and it's a complete different atmosphere.
Oh, that's awesome.
So he should be talked about in the same way as Richie Blackmore and Steve Vai and Gary Moore.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, he's definitely there.
You know, one of the things that I love about Rex too is that he puts his heart into his playing. You can feel it, and especially when he does blues, especially blues. Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
just saying. And there he is. He just joined us.
Awesome.
Rex, we're talking about you. Good to see you, Rex. And
so we did this thing where we played some Whitecross songs and some LAUDAMUS songs and some stuff from our catalog. So we did that in a project called PREX, and we have done a lot of shows actually over the years.
Yes, yeah, you really have. You guys have. Well, not only have you done a lot of shows, but you've become great friends too, which is that's the best part.
It is, yes.
The best part. So let's talk about Sweden for a minute. And by the way, I'll be in Sweden in March. I'll be speaking at the Light to Dark Festival. It used to be called Bobfest. We're changing the name this year. And I'll be there. I think it's the 21st, 22nd of March. And then by the way, then I'll be in Denmark later on that week, and then I'll be in Switzerland the following week at Elements of Rock. Okay. But I always love coming back to Sweden, and it's been too many years since I've been there. Your son just chimed in for a minute ago and said that he was here. And how old is he now? Is Samuel?
He's turning 23 in September.
So I think the last time I saw him, he was a little boy at my house in Nashville. He was
you were in Sweden 15 years ago.
Yeah,
it's at our wedding.
Yeah.
And you saw him then.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. But it's been a few years. He's kind of grew up. Yeah. Well, we got a lot of friends joining us. And he says, hello, Dad, it's Samuel. How cool is that? He's the greatest guy. Folks, we've had a lot of people joining us as we've been talking from all over the world. Thank you for joining us. Lots of people from the Philippines today. I like that. And Simone is here, originally from Denmark. And she says, good morning from Illinois. She used to be from Sanctuary, Denmark, actually.
Right.
And says, my husband really enjoyed recording with Rex. Her husband is the singer for A Hill to Die Upon. And and Rex is awesome to work with. Absolutely. So I agree. So we got a lot of folks joining us. It's kind of cool to have you all here. Folks, if you're just joining us, would you just sign in and let us know that you're here? I want to remind you that that there's a few events coming up, and I wish you were just a little closer, Peter.
Yeah,
some cool things coming up, and this Sunday is a big deal for the metal movement. There is an authorized documentary of Stryper going on right now, and the official Stryper documentary. Really, really cool thing. We're doing a lot of filming with the director, the producer, and the film crew here on this Sunday at the Storehouse here at Sanctuary. And they're wanting to do some interviews. They'll be recording our service, our worship band, and all the stuff that we have going on also. And we've got, as always, this one coming up too. This is June 1st, June 2nd. Our gathering is coming up the following week. And folks, if you haven't been part of that, it's always such a great time, the first Saturday and Sunday of every month. And we do teach, meet, eat, pray. There's all four of those elements involved. And of course, we always have some great food and some great fellowship. And if you're in the Nashville area or would like to be, let us know and we'll get you there. And Peter, just drive over.
I should.
Would you do that?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Just drive over, and we'll have a good time. And you are an old Striper fan.
Yeah.
So tell us your Striper story. Do you have a Striper story?
Well, it started. My first favorite band was Rest Band.
Mm.
And then, so Rest Band and Jerusalem were what was. I grew up on that.
Yes.
And then,
of course, it's from Sweden.
Yeah. And
yes.
then I heard Leviticus, also a Swedish band.
Also Sweden, yes.
Awesome. They still have their The Strongest Power album and the Setting Fire to the Earth album are still two of my favorite albums of all time.
Yes.
And then I was thinking about this just a while ago. I think it was 1986, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I heard Striper for the first time. It was my cousin who had a cassette. And that blew me away, totally. I heard Soldiers Under Command was the first song I heard. And then he said, "You got to hear this one." And it was The Rock That Makes Me Roll. And then I was completely sold. Yeah. Right. And back in those days, it's pretty far between Sweden and United States. When you released an album in the United States, it took about 2 years for it to come to Sweden. Back in those days when it were just vinyls and stuff, and there were no digital stuff going on at all. So it took some time. And so I bought To Hell with the Devil and Soldiers Under Command on the same day.
Hmm.
And then actually, Striper took a break from 92 to 2005.
Yeah.
And in that break that they had, there were this TV program, TV channel, the VH1. And they had a show where you could just call in or write in and ask them to play songs. So I did that. I just got the idea. Why not play the Soldiers Under Command video? Because I had heard, I had never seen it. I just heard that they had a video of Soldiers Under Command. So I did that. So they played it. And a few weeks later, I started hearing that it was like a rumor. Oh, they played Striper on VH1. And one thing led to another. So then they did the Striper Expo in New Jersey, 2000. Was that 2000?
Yeah, it might have been.
I was in your house.
Yes.
And we went to that. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And then the year after, in 2001, I think it was, then they did it in Azusa, and that we played there.
Yes.
Actually. And so I met Striper a couple of times, and it's just they have done so much for what do you call it, like the Christian community.
Yes. Well, they kind of started, didn't they? I mean, really, in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and they since they played mostly in secular places and stuff like that, they have opened a lot of doors. And so I have a huge respect for them.
Well, and I do too. You know, Michael was our first worship leader at Sanctuary when we started. And, people didn't sing. They wanted to listen to him sing. Yeah. So I guess that doesn't make for real good worship. But and then Jim, of course, from Barron Cross took over and still is. But, those were really formative years. They laid the foundation for so many bands, Peter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're doing something called the Metal Mass. It's
Really?
it's communion service in the traditions of Church of Sweden. We're doing it in the Church of Sweden, and they have a format for the service. So we have
Yes.
just switched all the music. So we're doing like 11 or 12 hard rock songs, and we're doing a couple of Striper tunes. We're doing More Than a Man, and
Yeah.
we're ending the whole thing with Makes Me Want to Sing.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Great idea.
And
Wow.
right before the communion, we're doing Golgotha by Wasp.
Oh, wow. Well, that's powerful. I love
It is.
that.
Yeah,
Love
it
that.
is. It's a really
Peter,
strong thing.
there's something happening where God is calling the Christian metal community to worship everywhere. People
Yeah.
keep telling me where God's putting together worship things. We have 5 worship albums going on right now from all over the world. We're starting a new label here at Sanctuary called Intense Worship, and we're only going to sign worship projects. And I'm very excited for it because I think I can totally see God leading right now in worship and revival. That's exciting, Peter, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Something is happening, definitely.
Yes. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can feel it. Feel it.
Yeah.
And all 5 of these projects, I didn't talk to any of them individually about it.
Okay.
God, their attention, God began the whole thing, and it just started moving and coming together.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
That is really cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, folks, once again, if you're joining us, let us know where you're watching from. Wanted to tell you in a couple of weeks, we've got the guys from Flood will be with us. Of course, there are 2 of them are also putting together the new tourniquet thing, Stop the Bleeding. But Flood will be with us. Guy Ritter and friends will
Yeah.
be with us. Yeah, so we're excited to have the guys here in studio, and of course, Luke Easter is part of our congregation here anyway. Well, we should have him on the show a little more. But so that's coming up. The folks here from Rescue One will be with us in a couple of weeks also. And Rescue One, of course, is the ministry to trafficked children. And they deal with human trafficking. We work with them almost every day here and providing food for families that are taking in trafficked children, besides other ministries. So that, and we're going to have Jonas here with us. Johannes Jonsson will be here with us. We're going to talk about how the Metal Bible is doing and the new book that's out about the history of the Metal Bible and the history of Bobfest. And so we've got some cool stuff coming up, but the coolest one is right now with Peter. He's the coolest guy.
Oh,
That's
there you go.
That's the best part.
Yeah.
So Peter, 25 years we've been friends, and we've watched a lot of things happen in the music industry. A lot of things have happened. In that time, we've gotten a lot more used to streaming music. That's changed. People don't necessarily have a cassette or a CD or a vinyl so much anymore. Some people like to collect, but music has just really changed. How do you see your life has changed with all the modern technology we have?
It's been a little difficult to orientate in that.
Yes.
Because there are different generations, so there are different needs for different generations. But I had plans many years ago to make an album, but I didn't do it because I couldn't see how we could sell it and how we could make something with it. So,
Yes.
but the process is still on, so we might record and release something pretty soon. hopefully we'll do that.
Yes. Well, we would love that. Your fans would love that.
That's awesome, and I would love to do that too.
Yes.
But sometimes just life's get in between, and you know, you need to figure things out for a while and
yes,
start doing things again. So I've had a lot of. We relocated 4 years ago, moved from Piteå down to middle of Sweden, and it always takes some time to get set. And
it does.
Now we're up and running. We're doing a lot of stuff. We play a lot. We're doing a lot of concerts in different places and different styles of music as well, and it's all kinds of stuff that we're doing.
Yeah, I love that you kept your diversity, and that's a cool thing.
And it's a must if you live in Sweden.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, Peter, when we all started this, it when you heard metal, you said, "Oh, that's metal," and now it's almost like rock and roll. Well, what kind of metal? And I think last time we started categorizing metal, we had 18 different categories.
Right.
Like rock and roll. What do you mean rock and roll? And these days it's kind of like, what do you mean metal? But the opportunity to do so many genres is awesome. But you know, at the end of the day, this is still family.
Yeah.
It's still the metal family, whether you like melodic metal or death metal, it's still the metal family.
Yeah.
And, that's what I appreciate internationally, is that we have that strong family bond.
Yeah.
And Peter, thank you for being part of my family for all these years.
Thank you for being part of my family.
Yes, you've been a good friend, and I appreciate it. And of course, we're not done yet. We have a lot of years working together ahead, and looking forward to that. Folks, I hope you've enjoyed having Peter here. We need to have him back also, and we'll do some more catching up. And Peter, the next time you come back on the show, why don't we have you sitting right next to me here? I think you need to come visit.
Yeah, love that.
It's time.
Let's do it.
It's time.
Yeah.
So, folks, we've got great band. xDOLUOSx will be here with us in just a minute, and we've got a great interview with them. Peter, thank you so much for joining us today. I appreciate it. Give your wife a hug for me. I married the two of you a few years back there in Sweden, and whenever I marry people, I tie the knot really, really tight. So
I noticed.
It's tight. Yeah. You can't get away. You can't.
We have 15 years now. The last May.
That's awesome. Awesome. Good for you.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Great.
Well, folks, thank you for joining us. We're going to be right back with xDOLUOSx right after this message. Hello, Metal family. So I'm excited for the next Immortal Fest. Such great bands, such great people. I hope you're going to be one of them. I'll be there hosting both events this summer. Really excited to spend time with the bands and to spend time with you. Sunday at the first event on the 28th of July will be the Sanctuary Day. We're going to have a service. We're going to have our worship team. We're going to have some special guests. We're going to have a good time. And I hope that you plan to come, and some surprises still to come too. So both events, 1st July, 26th to 28th, and the other the first week of September. Great bands, great time together, family time. We are metal, we are family. I hope to see you there.
Hey, welcome back to another edition of Intense Dose. I'm Match, and today I have the privilege of talking to some friends of mine. Thank you, Bob, for letting them on the show and letting me back on the show. Like, who'd have thunk that you'd give me even a moment to talk to people? But I have some friends on either side of me that are from the Inland Empire, kind of like a little east, inland from where I am out in Los Angeles. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let me introduce you guys to xDOLUOSx. We've got the lead singer and the bassist and some cool people here. Who do we got here? Who wants to talk first? Ladies first.
Well, first of all, that was a very interesting way to pronounce our name. That's probably the sixth version of it's close.
Tell people about your name and how to say it right.
That's you, Eddie.
Oh, it's doulos, 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 and that is Greek for bondservant. So yeah, but it's cool, man. Like, we've been called a lot of different names. Deluse. No, Match got us on Dollars.
Dollars, because you're making dollars and cents, because you make sense to me.
Make dollars if you don't make
definitely
sense.
not. But yeah, dude, I think that's fun. At first, when we first came up with the name, it was a car club. But so when we turned it into a band, we wanted to change the names, but nobody could pronounce it. But we kind of just it just stuck. So yeah, that's what we are, man. We're doulos.
And xDX is like already taken because Disciple took it. But
yeah, Disciple, yeah. And Death Star, and yeah.
So if you guys are bond servants and that's what the name means, then tell us a little bit more about what you're trying to say with that. Because you look a little crazy.
Oh, I don't know about all that.
We got bogeys in the podcast. Hello, strangers.
Yeah. Is that you, Mel, or what's up?
Yeah, I think, for us, I think that we, are just a ministry, just like, any other ministry. We just happen to be able to cater to people that I guess look more like us and that come from our same like musical background and
or just backgrounds in general.
Yeah, just whatever, but I think it's kind of funny how that works, because people think that we're just dealing with a demographic that looks like us, but I think that there's a lot of ministry with people that are opposite from us.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I mean? Or that look opposite. They're really not, but I think we have a much older demographic that's curious, and sometimes it's a little off-putting to them. But after you get to talk with them, I think it really blesses them, more than
sure.
anything. So, I think that we've gained a lot of wisdom from the older generation that may not be too understanding of what exactly it is we're doing, but then
like people that don't have graffiti on their walls like yours, that's quite a piece.
You don't have that? You don't have that?
Yeah.
Can I just drop it in?
Too.
I can drop mine in post.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
So do you want to explain to people, for the people that don't know how to read graffiti, like what this says behind you?
It says, go ahead.
No, take it.
All right. So it's the threshing floor. And that's the name of our ministry that the Lord has given us. So we have a Bible study. It started out with just a couple of kids, a couple of metalhead kids that were at our church, and we noticed that they would never go into the actual service. They just kind of hung around on outside. So we decided that, or we felt led actually that we're going to have a little Bible study with them, and it just started from there, and it just grew, little by little from there. Sorry, there's people walking by, but
well,
it's like, I don't believe you.
Mel, can you tell me what it says?
It says the threshing floor.
There you go.
Yeah.
And what's the reference to that?
What's the reference, Eddie?
Oh, so So in the Bible, it talks about how the wheat would be threshed and it would separate the chaff from the wheat, and just how we are now separated from the world. We are the Lord's now, so we have been separated out from who we used to be. That old person is dead, so that's just what it symbolizes.
So now that you've been threshed, you really thrash.
Wow,
I don't know.
bro.
Hashtag dad jokes.
Right?
I'll be here all night. All right. So all of that being said, Mel, you kind of talked about doing Bible studies. Can you tell people, if they don't know anything about your band, like what you guys do online?
Well, I think, we just kind of do our Bible study on Tuesday nights, and we do live on the threshing floor, 2446. That's our handle on Instagram. So you can look that up. And we just do that. And then we usually do a lot of stuff in person. So, you know what I mean? If you want to be part of our community here in Riverside, if you're close near, then by all means, you're welcome to just attend in person and get involved in one of our men's or women's studies that we do also weekly. So like we pretty much have ministry every night of the week, so I mean, yeah, if it's not ministry, it's band practice. So
And speaking of band, people can expect to hear music as part of what you guys do online, right?
yeah, definitely. I don't know exactly what you mean by that. What do you mean?
Well, because I mean, you guys started off with worship, right? An acoustic style worship, throwing a little effects, right?
Well, I don't.
Oh yeah, for our study, yeah. I mean, it's just kind of like a regular Bible study, really. It's not really. We want it to be more of just a worship setting, so we don't do any crazy music or anything like that during that point. Or before
It's more
Bible study.
outreach. Yeah, that's
it's
more
more
outreach and us playing in the scene. You know what I mean? And I think that's the biggest thing is like when we're in the scene, we're trying to just build relationships more than anything. You know what I mean? Our music pretty much speaks the message, and we're able just to build relationships. We mostly play in the secular scene. You know what I mean? And we're trying to create relationships, not sever them. And so, you know what I mean? We may do things a little bit different, than a lot of Christian bands do. But this is where
what do you mean by that?
Well, we may not do a whole bunch of soapbox preaching and, stuff like that on stage, but we when we're at our merch table and stuff, we definitely build relationships there. And people, you know what I mean? They listen. They're like, what's up with this? You know what I mean? Did I hear a couple of Jesuses in there?
And you guys have the X's on your stuff. So for those people that don't know what that is all about, do you want to clarify, specify?
Yeah, I can jump in on that one. We pretty much everybody in our band, we have devoted our life not only to the Lord, but devoted our life to being pure before the Lord, and pure of just clean from any type of substance or anything like that. So we do consider ourselves a straight edge band, because we live a straight edge lifestyle, I guess. But yeah, we just we try to not only encourage people to think with their heart and listen to the Lord, but also to be clear-minded. So yeah, just we don't like beat people up because they're not straight edge, but that's just who we are.
I think it more helps us.
Well, if we don't like you, we'll beat you up if you're not straight edge.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I can see what you're saying. Clean mind. I mean, clean body, clean mind, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's good. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So we kind of glossed over some things real quick. I'm thinking people are trying to figure out where you guys are coming from musically just by your looks at this point. Where would you guys say you fall in the main spectrum of on the edge, intense music right now? What subgenre or genre would you guys say you qualify as?
Mostly country gospel. I would say we really fit that.
With a
No,
little Western flavor?
Yeah, just a little bit of bluegrass. No,
Little
definitely.
Shania Twain mixed in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that's only when I got my new boots. New
Yeah.
boots scooting.
New boots.
Yeah, we're definitely more hardcore. Like as far as the bands that we want to sound like,
Or
I
that
guess
inspire us, I
that
guess.
inspire us exactly. Very much like a Death Star. Those are the bands that I really gravitate to. But like as far as like Gorilla Biscuits, Dream,
Yeah.
bands like that, those are
But if you were to go
Earth
like,
Crisis,
yeah.
all about that.
But
So,
with a
yeah.
touch of new metal, you know what I mean? Like if you were
Yes,
to
I'm
to
very
add a
much a
little
new
bit.
metal kind of person. Yeah, I got that Southern California where, I was in the lowrider scene, the gang scenes, whatever, and so
Yeah, I mean, you're
kind of
not
just
afraid to rap.
no. I love hip hop. That's what got me into metal. I only listened to rap growing up, rap and oldies and stuff like that. So when new metal came out, that was just an easy transition for me, what I'm saying? Because it was just rap, over some heavier beats,
Like
or
POD.
guitar. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Like
definitely
POD.
POD. And then if you touch, you know what I mean? Like you got Noah, our guitar player, he's definitely metal guy. You know what I mean? So we have a lot of metal influence with our music as well. If you want to take like POD and Corn and, maybe some Rage, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I think you guys are reminiscent of older DRI after their crossover album myself.
Oh,
That's just
yeah.
what I usually tell
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
I love hearing you guys. I love seeing you guys. I think my kid lost his first shoe in this first pit at your
That's
at threshing
right.
Oh
floor.
yeah, I remember that. That was dope.
So that was
No,
like
I'd like to say that we're definitely eclectic. You know what I mean? I to put us in any one genre when it comes to hard music, you know what I mean, would be difficult. But I think we can pretty much play with a pretty big spectrum.
yeah, and
Yeah,
I
because
love that.
we started off only playing punk, hardcore punk. That was where we started, but I think as our sound kind of progressed, we kind of just kept on, putting a little bit more of our own little flair to what we wanted to sound like. So,
No,
It's good
and
stuff. Yeah, I definitely want to encourage people to listen to you guys. So you guys got a lot of stuff going on. I think you guys are even playing in Vegas and Arizona coming up in the summer, right?
yeah, for
Yes.
sure. We have April 20th, 420. We're gonna be out in Vegas, gonna represent, some straight edge up in that show.
It's
But
needed.
then we got Havasu on the 21st of April. And
And what about the
We're
June?
doing the-
Aren't you guys playing a res out in Arizona?
yeah, that's going to be on June 8th. We're going to be out at the Navajo Reservation playing with a really, with a bunch of bands actually. We've got a pretty good lineup so far this year.
Yeah.
So that's going to be super dope.
We
So
got the homies from Head Noise. They're always
Got
down
Forerunner.
to jam with us. We got Forerunner, yeah.
yeah, and I don't know all the other bands that are playing.
Pyro the 7th is going out. He's gonna be doing some rapping. That's the homie.
Oh yeah.
We
Now,
got a lot of bands,
not to confuse anyone with Forerunner on Solid State Records, right? That's this Forerunner's like another band from another place,
Yeah, from Texas.
Texas. Oh, wait,
Yeah.
that's not the Solid State band, is it?
I don't know. It might be.
I think so. Yeah, they're gonna be
Really?
playing
I might have their
with us.
album like right
They're gonna
here.
be playing with us with Focus too. in
Yeah, there you go.
July.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ah.
What?
Yeah, they're just really, really good. So
No, yeah,
yeah.
I'm
definitely.
gonna
Oh,
have
so
to
you're
look
saying
it
we
up.
can't play with really, really good bands match? Is that
Yeah,
what
I was
you're
gonna
saying?
say,
No,
wait,
no, I'm just saying
Wow,
that
bro.
they can't come up to your
Dang,
level.
dude. Wow.
Anyway,
Wow. This interview's
you should, you have to do, now you have to do an interview with them and tell them how, like, yeah, you totally crapped on Doulos.
and how ask them how it feels to open for those guys. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. All right, cool.
Wow.
So I'm really stoked to hear that a band's playing at a reservation. For me, that makes a
Yeah.
big difference. I think that's more than just
Yes,
playing at
sure.
bars and clubs. I
Yeah,
think you
Yes.
guys are making a difference in a culture that's really kind of entrenched in their own.
yeah.
I mean, Eddie, aren't you a res dog? Like,
Yeah,
don't you got some flavor
we're
there?
from yeah, from a different tribe. So we're from I'm from a Southern California tribe, but just being able to go out to another reservation to just and their brothers in the Lord, definitely, and it definitely it hits differently, you know what I'm saying?
For
Because
real.
They're
yeah,
so
it really
legit.
does.
They
Yeah,
take
and
such good care of us over there, and they're just such a blessing and a breath of fresh
yeah,
air. They really
they definitely
changed
are.
us.
They definitely are. And we started going there like a couple years ago, just getting to know the people and just trying to just be helpful when we go. And it's
Because
just
they're
been
like
such a
yeah,
blessing, dude.
those people, like, they get the job done, and like
Yeah, they're
put their
definitely
butt to work over at
yeah.
the church, and like we're family, you know what I mean? And like, yeah, it's
Very,
That's awesome.
very resourceful people. Yeah, it's
I love
super
it.
dope.
I love
Yeah.
hearing stuff like that, man, because one of the things that's always impressed me about you guys is that you're not afraid to play with anyone, and it doesn't matter what their culture is.
no.
It doesn't matter if it's a church, it doesn't matter if it's a club, a bar, anything. Like, you guys just bring it and you just go.
Yep.
And
Yeah, well, I mean,
I'm
that's
impressed. I mean,
always
I've seen
been
you guys
our
play to like hardcore people, guys drunk, tearing it up in the pit, and you're still just going right for it. And
yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, that's always been our main focus for this band is, we're a ministry first. And the Lord is going to open up the doors, and we're just going to go wherever he wants us to go. So, if he wants us to play at a church, we'll play at a church. If he wants us to play, in the middle of a skate park, so be it, and obviously the bars and everything like that. Anywhere the Lord opens doors, we're going to go. And we're not going to we're not going to limit the Lord on where he wants us to go. So
Yeah, I think that's the funny part. We talked about that last night. Like, we've never ceased to be amazed at the shows that were like, oh, this might be whack. You know what I mean? And like, then we go because we need to be humbled. And the Lord like always like shows up in such a really cool way and like really does humble us. And we're just like, dude, like we did not expect, this to be, and it may not be like, a big thing to some other people, but we know that the Lord was there and that
That's incredible.
we're definitely in the right place at the right time. And
yeah.
you know what I mean?
And he's gonna put whoever he wants us to talk to or whatever in our path, and these are his plans. So we just want to be those bond servants,
Oh, full circle.
Dang, you like that, bro?
Hey, that was a pretty smooth transition to, we can zip it up on that one. I hate to even cut this off. I want this to be part 1 of 2 and get back to you guys in a couple months just to see how things are going and see how it went at those events. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys. And I heard last second, aren't you guys added somehow to audio feeds lineup?
Yeah. It's one of those
Y'all
things where we're still waiting back to see how we're fitting in, but we've already booked the flights and
yeah, we're gonna play. We just don't know when and where. And like I said, we don't care. We'll play. We'll play in the porta potties or whatever.
Hey, I'd see that. I'd hold the doors open.
Yeah. We don't even need the doors open. Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, guys, I hate to cut and run, but we do kind of have to wrap it up. If anyone is interested in hearing your music, what's the best platform for that? And give us your social handle and or website and stuff, and we'll plug it in as a caption here or there or somewhere on your thing.
Did you ask for our social security number?
Yeah.
And favorite ice cream.
Oh, okay. That works.
Okay.
Go ahead, Mel.
So
Handle that. I got a jam.
okay. So on Instagram, you got us at XDOLUOSx HC. Usually have a link in the bio as far as our link tree. But you can find us on Spotify or Bandcamp at xDOLUOSx. So yeah, you can check that out, and
So we can do the do,
you can do the do.
because that's what you got to do.
Yeah, I don't know about the Mountain Dew, bro.
I just thought do is in doulos so people could say it right, because I got
Oh,
it so wrong at the
sorry
beginning.
about that. I completely screwed that up.
All right. Well, I love you guys so much, and I hope the best for what's going on, and I hope to catch you guys one of these times. A lot of people say that the SoCal scene is dead, but let me tell you, it's
no,
band
it's
like
not.
you guys. Yeah, bands like you guys that are working the underground, bringing it up, bringing it. You guys are giving it new blood, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I
Yeah.
hate to cut out on you guys, but
Yeah.
we're going to have to catch up with you again in the future. And gosh, I hope nothing but the best for you guys.
Thank
Love you
brother.
guys.
Appreciate you. Love you too.
Doulos, great band, and if you haven't checked them out yet, make sure that you do that today. Thank you, Match, for the great interview. Always good, and lots more bands coming. We want you to not only know about the older bands, the new bands, but the popular bands and the not so popular yet bands, so that you have an opportunity to see what's going on out there. And this is just an example of that happening. It's been a great day today. Appreciate my co-host, Peter Stenlund from Sweden, Sanctuary, Sweden, being on with me. He's a great guy, old friend, and lots of cool stuff coming up in the future. Folks, I want to remind you, my newest book is out. Seriously, the devotional edition. And if you got the first book, I think you'd probably enjoy the second one also. You're going to reread a few things. It's probably been a few years since you read it. And but it'll also have some things to think about, some scripture to look up, some things to use a little more as a devotional or even as a journal. There are some places to write in there as well. So check that out on our website, where we have all of our swag. And of course, wherever books are sold, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, wherever you want to get it, that would be a great thing. Folks, I appreciate you joining me today. It's always good to spend time with you. Great shows coming up. We want to make sure that we get the people that you want to see also. If you have some ideas, some people that you'd like to see on this show, let me know, because that's what we're all about. So folks, until next week, have a great day, and don't forget, you are blessed. So go and be a blessing.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
Hey guys, DJ Rev here with the Warriors Night Out Radio broadcast. Join us every week right here for 60 minutes of the best soul-shaking, bone-shattering, spirit-charging, faith-based rock and metal.
Break the cycle!
Featuring all your favorite hard rock and heavy metal favorites from across the U.S. and around the world. The Warriors Night Out Radio broadcast, the war cry of the faceless generation. Be sure to find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter X at WNO Rocks.